We'll need to stop the recording and copy these down so that you can use them as we begin working some problems together. So as you see here, the first thing we'll be dealing with is a ratio. It is a comparison of two quantities by division. It can be written in three different ways. The first way is written as a fraction, 1 to 2. Now, of course, your fraction needs to be written straight up and down, not slanted as mine. Or you could use the word 2, 1 to 2, or you could use the colon, 1 to 2, being read 1 to 2 each time. Ratios can be reduced, but if they are improper, leave them improper. Remember that we are comparing two quantities, and so you need to see the top number compared to the bottom number. That's why we leave it improper. A rate is another term that you need to know. It is a ratio that compares quantities in different amounts and units. And we can also find a unit rate. It has a denominator of 1, or it's talking about just one thing. And we're talking about unit cost, maybe mileage and speed. And we'll get to those problems in just a moment. If you look here, if I were to say 98 out of 100 people went shopping on Black Friday, could you take that and write it as a fraction, as a ratio, being read with the word 2? So if you were to write that as a fraction, you would write that 98 to 100. If we were to write it as with the word 2, we would say 98 to 100. And then we could also use the colon. What have we not done? Yes, we need to reduce, so you could go back and reduce. Now, I'm going to be writing mine in the fraction format. What could help you reduce? Yes, you could use your calculator, you could 2 it to death, or you could try to find a number that would go both into 98 and 100. Let's look at this example. A survey asked students whether they had after-school jobs and wants you to write each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. Okay, so it says all the students surveyed compared to the students without jobs. Well, how many people were surveyed? That would be our total. All the students surveyed compared to the students that do not have a job. That would be 60. Now we could start off by dividing both of those by 100, and we would have 10 over 6. Could you divide both of those by 2? And you would get 5 over 3. There would be your ratio, 5 to 3. What about all the students surveyed to the students with jobs? So we would have all the students surveyed compared to the students that had a job. You could write off divide by 10 and then divide by 2 again. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And so our ratio would be 5 to 2. And here we see those amounts. You are welcome to stop the video and see exactly how that was written. Let's look at the next one. Here it's asking us to find unit price. We want the price per one unit for just one thing. Here we're talking about packages of index cards. So we want the price for just one card. That's all we're looking for here. What we would need to do is we would need to divide. To find unit price, you will need to divide. We always take the money and we divide it by however many items that we have. And so we will have a series of 3 different division problems. The first thing that we would want to do is take $2.70 and divide that by 100. When we divide by 100, that is like moving our decimal point over 2 times, and that becomes 0.027. Remember, this is in money. That's how much it would cost. If you think about that, that's about 3 cents per card. The next one, well, that doesn't work, does it? Hold that thought. Okay, let's try this one more time. We're going to take $1.30 divided by the 50 cards in this pack, and that would give us 0.026. And the last one, we have 75 cents divided by the 25 cards. And when we divide that out, you will get 0.03. So what we have to decide here is which one has the lowest unit price. And I'm just going to take our three prices and write them in a stack so that we can see with our decimals lined up and our place values lined up which one of these would be the smallest number. As you can see, I have all zeros and all zeros. Here I have 2's and I have a 3. The 3 would be the largest. We're looking for the lowest unit price. Since my 2's are the same, I go to the last number. What is bigger, the 2 or the 6? And what is smaller, because we're looking for the smallest one, 6 or 7, and the 6 would be the smallest. This size right here, the 50-pack card, is your better deal. Now you'll see this sometimes when you go to Sam's. On the little sticker on the shelf, it will have kind of up in the right-hand corner or the left-hand corner, either one, it'll show you the unit price. It will let you know how much you're paying per unit, whether it is per liquid that's in there or per bags of little chips that are in the big box. It will let you know how much you're paying. Here you can again stop the video to see exactly how those were calculated. Okay, so let's look at this next one. Here we have where we can write each ratio as a fraction, and we're doing this in simplest form. So if we're talking about 4 out of 20, that would be 1 to 5. If we're talking about 8 out of 10, then that would be 4 to 5. And then here when we find the unit rate, what we'll need to do is we will need to divide. Remember to take the money, $4.50, and divide that by 2 gallons. And that gives us $2.25. See if you can work the next one there. You have $21.60. And we're dividing that by our 20-pound bag of dog food. So you would pay, anyone know yet? How many have already gotten the answer before I can get the answer? And once you divide, you would get $1.08. And that's what it would take to find that unit rate. You can always stop and